Hi, I'm Greg Gorbach, and I'm speaking today with Sid Sharma, Global Head of IT, IoT, and OT with Hitachi. Welcome, Sid.
Hi, Greg. Thank you for hosting me for this interview. Looking forward to the talk.
Excellent. So Hitachi is well known as a manufacturer of large industrial assets like rail and utility infrastructure and such. Can you talk a little bit about how you think about securing these things?
Greg, that's a great question because if you look at Hitachi, uh, we should be considered as manufacturers of capital equipments,
Mhm.
but such capital equipments which actually sits inside mission critical value chains. And mission critical value chains like rail infrastructure, power grids, uh, mission critical value chains like complex plants, building infrastructure, water infrastructure, and all these assets are predominantly in the Western economies, Europe, US. And all these operations are predominantly in the Western economies like US and Europe and Japan. You know, the global politics, these infrastructures are on the crosshairs of many different kind of actors, and securing them is a very big priority for Hitachi. And we believe that bringing IT capabilities like analytics, pattern recognition, artificial intelligence, machine learning into the OT data, which is predominantly time series, can help us secure these assets. And OT security, OT cybersecurity is not just an offering of Hitachi, it's right at the center of Hitachi's go to market mission
Hmm.
because we need to secure London Underground. We need to secure more than 400 power grids which we manage. So it's very much a big mission of Hitachi.
Okay, thanks. Um, so I want to talk a little bit about digital transformation. And when it comes to digital transformation, um, data is one of the fundamentals that companies need to pay attention. Can you talk a little bit about Hitachi Vantara's Lumada series and how how you help manufacturers with data?
See, first of all, Lumada is not a platform as such, it's a philosophy. Our current chairman, Kojima san, is actually the inventor of the term and this whole philosophy. So there are multiple products within the Hitachi digital realm which are part of this philosophy. This philosophy of Lumada starts at the edge where we have multiple equipments, which I just spoke about. There are rail equipments, there are traction control systems, there are power grid equipments like transformer, air insulated switches, gas insulated switches, etc. And then these equipments are creating data inside them, around them, with them. That data is basically being created at the edge. Lumada is very much there. And then that data is being transitioned through various logistics value chains of data, ingestion, staging, analytics, cataloging, stewardship. Lumada is very much part of this entire value chain. And eventually, this data needs to be either put inside a large database at the edge, on prem, or in cloud and analyzed. And
Mhm.
Lumada is very much there. So, we have got multiple software assets which conform to this philosophy of Lumada. One of them is Lumada Data Ops, Industrial Data Ops. Other is Lumada Asset Performance Management, Lumada Edge Intelligence. Then there is a whole series of Lumada offerings around field service management, intelligent infrastructure. So we have an IoT platform, series of IoT platforms which actually align with different industries. So that's what Lumada is all about.
Oh, okay. And then are there particular industries that you find receptive to this? Uh,
See, in our understanding, every industry would be very receptive to data, but as Hitachi, we are focused on some industries where we are very good and very deep in. For example, industrial manufacturing, because of our heritage, we are predominantly an industrial manufacturing
sure.
conglomerate. Then the value chains in which our assets and equipments reside, fundamentally mobility, rail, freight, passenger mobility, transportation, And then power grids, energy, the whole value chain of energy transition. If you look at the power grids, they have been traditionally been a unidirectional in nature, generation, transmission, and distribution. There is a big element of bidirectional power grid which is emerging because people are generating at the distribution and retail end. So we are very much in energy transition, depivoting from fossil fuels, renewable energy. So these are the value chains where we are very good at. Very few people know that we have the world's second or third largest, depending on where yen is, tier 2 auto, four-wheeler and two-wheeler component manufacturing business in partnership with Honda. So these are some of the value chains where Hitachi is very good at. But we have a very large base of customers in banking, insurance, which also use our data and analytics capability, not necessarily from an OT point of view.
Okay. Well, so that anticipates my last question a little bit. You mentioned energy transition, and I think energy transition and sustainability are the next big disruptors in the industrial space. So how can you help manufacturers in this area?
See, this energy and ESG is central to Hitachi's theme. We reorganized ourselves into green, 3 business units: green, mobility, and industrials. Now, if you look at green business of Hitachi, it is all about energy transition. But if you go further back, Hitachi emerges from Japan. And Japan is an island which is surrounded by aggressive sea currents. Global warming is increasing the sea levels. So for Hitachi, ESG is central to its ethos. And we have been focused on energy, sustainability, environment for a very long time. Even before Rio and Paris happened, Hitachi was always focused on sustainability. So energy and green are very important businesses of Hitachi. In fact, we have a business unit which is called Shakai Business Unit. Shakai means society. So we have a societal innovation business unit which only focuses on making the lives of the people on this planet better than it is today. We are involved with multiple ways and dimensions with energy and sustainability. For example, we are helping the third world countries to depivot from fossil fuel. We are helping countries to move away from air and road logistics to electric train logistics. We are converting mining equipments from diesel to electric batteries. In fact, Rio Tinto, Vale are some of our first few customers there. We are managing one of the most fast expanding charging infrastructure. With Hitachi Energy, we are involved in battery and capacitance, which is being provided to economies in Western world. We are doing a program which will report its findings to House of Commons in England, where we are trying to understand the grid resilience of London City, and then it will be extrapolated over entire England for them to understand that how much of electricity should be generated versus stored if X percentage of their internal combustion engines are going to move into battery. It will be a complete decision support system, which we are doing with UKP, and it's called Optimize Prime. So we are securing Appennino Meridionale, which is the water resources of municipality of northern Italy. So we are involved in sustainability in various ways. Deutsche Bahn is one of our big sustainability partners in Germany. So the energy and sustainability mission of Hitachi is very broad, and it encompasses multiple facets.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Sid. Really appreciate talking with you today. I've been speaking with Sid Sharma, Global Head of OT and IoT at Hitachi. Thanks for watching.
Great, thank you.